Hello, everyone. I'm Randy Arrington, and welcome to the 24th episode of Page Valley Living. We're here today at the Veteran Memorial in the town of Shenandoah to mark this weekend's 27th consecutive Memorial Festival. This two-day festival is packed with even more events that have been added in recent years, from the cruise-in and carnival on Friday night to the memorial service and the big parade down First Street on Saturday afternoon. We're going to be talking with Shenandoah's event coordinator, Lora Jenkins, who's also the coordinator of the Town of Shenandoah Museum and Welcome Center. We're going to talk with her about all of the activities that are happening on Friday and Saturday as part of their annual Memorial Day Weekend Festival. It's all of that and more in just a moment. We'll be talking with Lora Jenkins, but first, let's take a look at this week's headlines in the Page Valley. And now, looking back at the week that was in the Page Valley. On Thursday, a General District Court judge certified 3 felony charges against Timothy Thomas Comer to a June 5th grand jury in Circuit Court. Comer is charged with the first-degree murder of Greg Williams on June 29, 2023. According to testimony heard last week at the preliminary hearing in General District Court, Comer confessed to a fellow inmate the details of 3 murders, including that of his grandmother and nephew. Read more on PageValleyNews.com. On Friday, a 59-year-old male from Rileyville suffered serious injuries in a Route 340 crash in Warren County and was transported to Inova Fairfax Hospital for treatment. The 2-vehicle accident that occurred just south of Coppermine Road claimed the life of 29-year-old Cody A. Cavanaugh, age 29, of Front Royal. He was transported to Warren Memorial Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. On May 8th, Roby Good was appointed to the Stanley Council to fill the vacancy left by the April 7th death of former councilman Dwayne Lehman. Good was the only applicant for the council seat. She currently serves on the Stanley Planning Commission and has a personal background in banking. Every Child Learning Center has 6 months to obtain its certification from the Virginia Department of Education, or it will lose a town-issued permit allowing the operation of a child care facility at St. Mark Lutheran Church on East Main Street in Luray. The Luray Council voted to terminate the permit in November if the project doesn't move forward. And finally, Page County Schools recently announced the hiring of 2 assistant principals. Craig Tutt will be at Luray Elementary, while Jennifer Hitt is going to Page County Middle School. And finally, congratulations also goes out to 4th grade Springfield teacher Greg Morrison, who was named the Division's 2024 Teacher of the Year. In the world of sports, the Page County softball team is heading to the Bull Run District Tournament Championship this Thursday after defeating Clark County 2-0 on Tuesday in a tight semifinal matchup. The Panthers will face either Strasburg or Central in the district title game at 6 p.m. at Allen Knight Field on Thursday, just before beginning next week's Region 2B tournament. After district semifinal losses on Tuesday by the Luray girls soccer team to top-seeded Clark and the Luray baseball team to top-seeded Madison, both of those squads are now done for the week, but they will await next week's Region 2B tournament seedings. And now looking at the weekend ahead in the Page Valley. Of course, the big event this weekend is the Memorial Day Festival in the town of Shenandoah, with multiple events taking place on Friday and Saturday, May 24th and 25th. We'll be going over those activities in detail with times and places listed in just a few moments. But other activities happening around the area include the annual opening of the Hawksbill Pool at Hawksbill Park in Stanley. That's happening this weekend. And the beach at Lake Arrowhead, just outside of Luray, is also opening up this Memorial Day weekend. There'll be live music up at Skyline Resort in the Shenandoah National Park with Dave Bradley Bluegrass on Thursday, Timothy Seaman on Friday, and Elizabeth Sable and Casey Firkin on Saturday. There'll also be live music out at Wisteria Farm and Vineyard out near Stanley as part of their Music Under the Arbor series. And that's the headlines for the past week in the Page Valley. Episode 24 of Page Valley Living is being recorded on Tuesday, May the 21st, and will air on Wednesday, May the 22nd. And we're back inside now the Town of Shenandoah Museum and Welcome Center, and we're here with Lora Jenkins, curator of the museum. Thanks so much for talking with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Now, just in case, now you are actually our first two-time guest on Page Valley Living, but we want to introduce you to folks who may not know you. You've been with the Town of Shenandoah now for how long?
4 years I've been with the Town of Shenandoah.
And what position did you start with them?
I started out as a town clerk, and then March of 2023 I moved here to the museum.
And I know you seem to love it here now.
I love it. I majored in U.S. history, and so I'm amongst things that I just love. So yes, I love it here.
And of course, we are in this room of the museum here in Shenandoah that has a lot of military memorabilia, and that's going to tie into this weekend because you're also the events coordinator for the town, and y'all got a few things going on this weekend, I believe.
Just a few.
So obviously it's the big annual Memorial Festival here in Shenandoah. It's your big thing of the year, and it's going to be Friday and Saturday. Yes. Multitude of events happening. Let's start with Friday, May the 24th. What is going on Friday?
Okay, so the first thing that kicks off will be at 4 o'clock at the Carnival Grounds. The Shenandoah Volunteer Rescue, the Shenandoah Volunteer Fire Company owns the Carnival Grounds. So they're bringing back an event they used to have, but they hadn't since the pandemic. So we're excited that they're actually bringing back events there to the Carnival Grounds.
Now let's talk about that for a second. Now, is that next to the tennis courts?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a grassy area, and they have a barbecue pit there.
So there's Wigwam Village,
Yes.
the tennis courts, and then there's the carnival area.
Exactly. So officially, I think the address is 221 3rd Street.
Okay.
If you need your GPS.
And they're going to have games, and they're going to have food and things. Are we going to have a huge Ferris wheel?
No, sorry.
No rides.
No rides. But what they will have, they're going to have a cake walk.
Ooh.
They're going to do a bouncy house for kids. They're going to have food sales. I do know a chicken dinner. They're going to have that, cheeseburgers, hamburgers, hot dogs.
I heard chicken and cake. That's all I need to hear. Woo, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Friday. We got the food and games. Cruise in?
Yes, the cruise in, that actually starts at 6 o'clock and goes on until 9 o'clock. We close down First Street.
Okay.
And so it becomes a pedestrian area, and the cars are parked on First Street.
Okay.
Classic cars. So you can walk amongst them.
About how many do you have registered?
This one is always the biggest one, so we usually have about 100.
100?
Yeah.
So are you going to be all the way from Wigwam Village all the way to...
Yeah, we're going to take up all of First Street.
Wow. That's a lot of entries, 100 cars.
Yes.
They didn't even have that many General Lees at the Hazard Fest, I don't think.
Yeah.
Now, you've also got, at the cruise in, there's going to be a DJ, and there's going to be food available, and then I think in a ceremony that I know the mayor is important to him, the flag retirement ceremony.
Yeah, the Boy Scout Troop 8, they will show you how to properly dispose of your flag, because a lot of people have worn flags and they'll chuck them in the trash, and that's a no-no.
Right.
No. So the Boy Scout Troop 8, they will show you how you properly dispose of a flag.
And they usually have quite a few that people do use this process and give them a bunch there, and that's over on Virginia Avenue at the Veterans Park. Okay, right. And that's from 7 to 8:30 on Friday. So now we've covered Friday. Now we get into the big day, the main event. All right, let's just start in the morning and work our way through. What's going on Saturday?
Okay, at 8 a.m. We'll start everything. There's going to be the vendor show, and it will be on First Street. Same thing, we're going to block off from Virginia Avenue to Pennsylvania Avenue, and that's where we're going to have the vendor show. And
about how many vendors do you think you'll have?
At least 20.
Okay,
that we'll
good.
have. Yeah, good. So a good turnout. They've had the vendor show last year up at Shenandoah Machine Shop, and so they've changed it to First Street this year to see, how well it's going to do down this way. So that'll go on from 8 to 3.
Okay.
Also, At 8 o'clock, that's when a lot of the yard sales and bake sales are going on. And Shenandoah Pentecostal Church will have a yard sale and bake sale inside their church at 8 o'clock.
Is that the one next to the elementary school?
If you go further on 340, headed south, it's where the old Batman Pontiac used to be.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
That's going to be. So then at 9 o'clock, got a couple different events. You've got the petting zoo will start at the river park.
Wow, now that's exciting.
Yes.
Petting zoo. Okay.
Is
that new?
That last year I brought it, and it was an amazing turnout.
Are they from a local farm?
Broadway.
Broadway.
Yeah,
Okay.
Broadway.
Excellent.
Grampy's Village Zoo.
They got an alpaca.
They do. They have just about everything you can imagine, and so that's going to be fun. Also at 9 o'clock, you're going to have the farmers market, Daughter of the Stars farmers market. That's going to be at Big Jim Park.
Yeah, that is something now that's what about every other week?
Every other Saturday. They're alternating between the Shenandoah and Lora.
And that has so far done fairly well. I think they're doing a good job of running that.
Yeah, doing a great job. Yeah. So this is their third season. Originally it started in Shenandoah, the first season.
Right.
And they just did it once a month. And then they moved to the second season, Lora and Shenandoah, one week and then the next week. And then now they're every Saturday and alternating between Shenandoah and Lora.
Gaining some steam. Yeah. I like that. That's a good project, and it's being run by some good folks. So that's going to be over at Big Jim Park. Right, 9 a.m. And we still got the carnival grounds going on. The library.
Yes, the library always has their annual book sale. So they're going to have that starting at 10 o'clock. And then at 12 o'clock at the library, they're having a garden workshop too. So that'll be something new and interesting that we haven't done before.
And we were talking about that earlier. I got a little confused because I was thinking it might have been at the community garden, but that's something we also want to let people know about, that there is a community garden that they can participate in and take the fruits of their labor. And it's available to the community. And that's over by the Valley Health offices.
Right, on Williams Avenue.
On Williams Avenue. Very good, very good.
And then continuing on,
at
10 o'clock, we've got some more events. The Memorial Walk at the VFW. So we've honored soldiers from Virginia that have died while on active duty.
Yes.
And so I have set up yard stakes, basically, that has their picture
of all the previous honorees at these events for 27 years.
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive. Now, you told me before we started recording that there's actually, even though this is Memorial Day and it's a bit somber event because we're remembering soldiers who gave that ultimate sacrifice, there's a little bit of good news in that area this year.
Yeah, very good news. We have not seen anything in print about a Virginia soldier who has passed away during active duty.
Whether it be accidents, combat, nothing.
Exactly. So we don't have anyone to honor, and that's a good thing.
Now, this happens occasionally, right? Or have y'all had one every year?
We've had one. Last year we didn't have one either. Right, so that was great. But all the years previous, we've had one.
Wow. The first 25 years consecutively. Wow. And I know that is an event that is very near and dear to the mayor's heart. He is kind of the MC of the event and always gets a little emotional, and for good reason. Yes. And I think that event to me just screams small town America.
Yes.
And the patriotism in that room is just amazing. Now, even after the Memorial Walk and all that, there's still more stuff going on in the afternoon. Car, truck, tractor show.
Yes. If you go up to the KVK area, which is up on Quincy Avenue, we have classic cars again, trucks, tractors. Right. Yeah, so you have to go up there from 10 to 3 to see all those cool vehicles.
And you already mentioned the petting zoo, which I have on my list, and that's at the Shenandoah Landing and River Park on Morrison Road, 9 to 3. And then the Children's Parade, the DAR.
Yes, the Shenandoah River chapter of the DAR, they're sponsoring the Children's Parade. They had done that for the 4th of July in Lora.
Right.
And so now for us, for the past 3 years, they've actually helped us do that at our river park.
And it's at 1 o'clock.
That's at 1 o'clock. So if you any children that want to participate, if they want to come all decked out in their red, white, and blue,
Yes.
if they have a bicycle that they want to even
Decorate,
out,
a wagon, yeah.
stroller. I had some with electric little electric vehicles.
Or scooter.
Oh yeah,
A scooter,
yeah.
nice, yeah. Well, that's a great addition to the weekend right there. I think that's a great idea. And of course, the carnival games are going to keep going on, but then at 4 o'clock, it's the big parade.
It's the big event, what everybody's been waiting for.
And do you know about how many entries we have in the parade this year?
No, I don't know that. The Shenandoah Heritage Center, they are in control of that.
Okay.
But I know it's well over probably 30 entries right now.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and then everybody waits till the last minute.
And I tell you, that is a nice little parade. And I tell you, if you don't walk away with a red, white, and blue feeling, it's something wrong. Something wrong with you. And so now what we're going to do, let's see. I wanted to ask you a couple things here. And of course, my pages are a little mixed up. I wanted to talk about your grand marshals for the parade.
Yes.
Tell me about these gentlemen.
All right, hometown guys. They grew up in the town of Shenandoah. And they served in World War II. They're brothers. You have Paul Judd, who is 98 years old.
Wow.
And his brother Irvin Judd Jr., who's 96 years old. And they've agreed to be our grand marshals this year.
That is, I didn't realize the age, but I should have realized, being World War II veterans, that we don't have as many remaining as we used to.
Don't.
And that is amazing. So they're going to be the grand marshals of the parade.
Yes.
Again, 4 o'clock. That's on Saturday, May the 25th. It's going to go from Maryland Avenue and on to First Street.
Right. And then cut back up to Virginia Avenue, back to 340.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that is a lot of stuff. How long have y'all been planning for this?
Since January.
Since January.
Yes.
And, it's the biggest event of the year for the town of Shenandoah. How many people are involved in pulling this off?
At least 10. Yeah, it takes a village.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we take a quick little break, what would you say to the folks out there to entice them to come down in town this weekend?
Yeah, like Randy said, you won't find a better example of that patriotic feeling than here in the town of Shenandoah. Small town charm. And if you want to really know about what we do around here and see what we do well, you have to come for the Memorial Festival. We've been doing it for 27 years, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, they put on a good show, folks, and you definitely should take advantage of it. This Friday and Saturday, it kicks off on Friday afternoon. They got the cruise in, some things going on Friday night. They got the flag retirement ceremony, and then Saturday, just a whole litany of things going on, from the book sale, events at the library, and then, of course, the big parade at 4 o'clock. Now, we're going to take a really quick break. Will you stick around and play the 5 W's with us?
Sure will.
You're going to be the first 2-time player. This is amazing. We're making history right here, folks. We're going to do that in just a moment, but first, we would like to invite local businesses to consider being a sponsor of Page Valley Living. Each week, we explore a different issue important to the people of the Page Valley, and our viewership is growing. Each episode remains in our YouTube channel library indefinitely. So consider helping us keep this segment of our local news coverage going and try out a new medium for your marketing. Monthly rates are available. And now back here inside the Town of Shenandoah Museum and Welcome Center in the 5 W's with Lora Jenkins. I'm going to ask you about the who, what, when, where, and why. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Who are some of the biggest players in making this weekend, this Memorial Festival in Shenandoah, happen at the end of May each year?
The Shenandoah Heritage Center, we couldn't do it without them whatsoever. They are actually in charge of most of the events. So definitely want to give out a shout out to the Shenandoah Heritage Center, especially Nancy Carnes. She's been the ringleader, for many, many years. I think for 20 years. And so she's really got this all. It's a well-oiled machine because of Nancy Carnes.
Outstanding, outstanding. What is the most popular event among the many activities spread out over 2 days?
The parade. Yeah.
Right.
Free candy. Come on.
You can't beat free candy. Come on. When did the Shenandoah Memorial Festival first begin?
Yeah, it was in the late 90s. So this is our 27th annual.
27 years. Outstanding. The mayor was a big part of getting it going, wasn't he?
Yeah, because originally it was just the memorial service, and that's all we did.
Right.
Yeah, and then it just Yeah, grew and grew and grew from there.
Well, keep it going.
Yes.
Keep growing it. Where is the best place to watch the parade from?
I would say Maryland Avenue in front of the school.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because
Wow.
first of all, you're going to have more candy thrown at you because everyone's got candy at that time. So if you stand around the retaining wall at the school, I think that would be a great place.
Okay, ooh, that's a nice inside tip there. And of course, our last question is a why. And why is this Memorial Festival and its traditions so important to this community?
Yeah, well, it's all about the soldiers. So we just want to thank the soldiers and who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And a lot of people here in Town of Shenandoah have served. So we're just really, it's to honor them and to thank our past soldiers and our veterans.
Well, I couldn't have put it better myself. And it's something that I think sometimes take a little bit for granted, and we need to be reminded of those who sacrificed on our behalf. We want to say thank you here to Lora Jenkins with the Town of Shenandoah Museum and Welcome Center. Thank you for spending some time with us. Thank you for everything you have done and everything you will do for our community.
Thank you.
Don't forget, folks, kicking off this Friday with a cruise-in here on 1st Street down in Shenandoah, and many activities all throughout the day. The memorial service is at 10:15 over at the VFW in Shenandoah, and of course the big parade at 4 o'clock. Come on down to Shenandoah, folks. They're going to have chicken. They're going to have cake. You can even pet an alpaca. I mean, come on. I mean, they're going to have big hot rod cars and everything. It's going to be something for everyone. So make sure you come down to the Town of Shenandoah this weekend for the Memorial Festival. We want to say thank you to Eleanor Arrington for all of her work behind the camera today. If you enjoyed today's show, hit that like button and share it with a friend, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Page Valley News. And finally, make sure you visit all of our furry friends down at the Page County Animal Shelter and help them find a forever home. Until next week, this is Randy Arrington saying, enjoy that Page Valley living.